What is going on, YouTube? My name is Brandon Blankenship, and I'm a real estate agent in the greater Los Angeles area. And you probably clicked on this video because you're thinking about making that move from California to Phoenix. And you want to make sure you stay all the way till the end because Caitlin and I have a special gift for you to make that process 100 times easier. But today, we're going to talk about what Phoenix has to offer you to all my California people. And I'm here joined today by Caitlin, who's a real estate agent out there. Do you want to introduce yourself? Say a little bit something about yourself, Caitlin?
Sure. Hi, Brandon. Thank you for having me on your channel. I'm Caitlin McKeag. I'm a realtor in the Phoenix area, and I have been doing real estate for about 2 years in Phoenix. I've been helping many buyers move to Phoenix from other areas of the country, a lot from California, and also have been helping folks sell their homes here as well. So Brandon and I figured we probably have a lot of folks that are, leaving California for one reason or another and coming to Arizona or vice versa. So thanks for having me on so we could talk about that.
Thank you for joining, and you nailed it right on the head. The very first topic, everyone has different reasons for leaving California, but one of the main things is the cost of living here. And the reasons for the cost of living being so high in California is because of the housing. So the areas that I typically work in, east side of LA, San Gabriel Valley, we can find 3-bed, 2-baths here for like 1,400 to 1,500 square feet for, depending on the neighborhood really, but in the neighborhood that I specifically work in, probably around $750,000 to $850,000. What does that look like for you in the Phoenix area, Caitlin?
A lot different. Holy moly. $750,000 gets you a lot more than that in Phoenix. I recently sold a house to a couple who moved from San Diego, and they purchased for about $385, and they ended up getting a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, basically what you described as far as size, with a pool and a private backyard. So like I said, for $385. So it's a pretty big difference. They were also in a really nice neighborhood. So it's not like they bought in the ghetto or anything like that.
Right. So it's kind of like night and day in terms of housing price. What kind of things do you have there? I know that like a lot of people are moving out to the Phoenix area and the areas surrounding it. Is it a lot more new builds? Is it a lot more, old craftsman, mid-century style homes? What kind of homes do you guys got out there?
It's a mixture of all of that, actually. We have a lot of older construction in some areas from, 70s, 80s, stuff like that. We even have older than that. Like we have some homes from 20s, 30s, 40s in kind of the center of Phoenix, in the older areas of Phoenix, and a lot of that's been maintained and restored, and so there's some really cool historic homes in that area. But mid-century is prominent, but we also have a lot of new builds too. So I would say a mixture of everything. A lot of the times you're going to find your new build communities more on kind of the outskirts of the suburbs. So Phoenix is the kind of the hub, but we have a ton of suburban areas around it, kind of like you do in the LA area. Right. And we've really built out as a city quite a bit. So when you're looking for more new construction, you're typically most often on kind of the outer sides of Phoenix and some of those other suburbs versus being in the center of the city.
Okay, that makes sense. So there you got a mixture of both your historic homes as well as your new builds as well, then I assume.
Yeah, a whole bunch of stuff. We have also single story, like ranch style homes, and then we have your 2-story homes as well. So probably similar, but the style's a little bit different out here, a little bit more,
right.
Southwestern stucco. You don't see as much wood, and, California homes have a little bit of a different look, which I love, but we don't do that here.
Right. Totally two different worlds. How about the weather there? I mean, here in California, it's, weather here is beautiful. 300 out, 365 days of the year. Rarely rains. It's always nice and cool. It really only gets blazing hot from July and August, but besides that, it's typically 75 to 85 to 90 degrees. So how about out there in Phoenix area?
You're making me jealous. So not quite as nice in terms of the heat. We probably have our blazing heat, if you want to call it that, time frame from like May through September. It's going to be definitely at least high 90s, if not triple digits through that whole time. So actually the last couple days have been in the 90s, and it's June, and that's like unheard of here. So we're, soaking that up. But the rest of the year, October through April, is like so nice. It's really dry here. I know you guys have a little bit more humidity in LA, but or in California in general, but here it's pretty dry. So that lends to, you know, the heat is a little bit more bearable when it's that hot, but also in the cooler months, it's really nice here. So we get a lot of visitors from all areas of the country who really love the weather here, from that October timeframe through April. That's when we'll have more of those 75-degree days. And then, you know, even in the winter, it can get cold. And our, you know, our high can be like 60 some days, and everything is below that. But it's, you know, it's pretty good. The
Right.
summers aren't ideal, but that's why you want to buy a house with a pool.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. I think, do a lot of homes over there in Arizona have, or Phoenix have pools?
Yeah, yeah. A lot of homes have pools. I think there's a misconception that people think that every house has a pool in Phoenix, and that's not the case. Some people don't want the maintenance or don't want to deal with it. So not every house has a pool, but we do have a large majority that do. It's not hard to find a house with a pool here.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. And then how about like things to do? I know my California people that are thinking about making that move to Phoenix, but have never been out there before. We're kind of spoiled out here in LA. There's so much to do out here, from beaches to hikes to finding tremendous places to eat food to museums to sports teams. What does Phoenix have to offer my California people?
Yeah, everything but the beach, really. um, no, it's we have great hiking here as well. So, like if you're an outdoorsy person, there's a lot of things to do outdoors, like hiking. We have a lot of cyclists, runners, especially, you know, in the summer, you got to kind of change your schedule to be able to do some of that and maybe take a break. But in the rest of the year, like that is so, we have so many active people that are outside doing outdoor activities. So there's a lot to do as far as that's concerned. We have a lot of great dining too, and shopping, especially in Scottsdale, has like premier shopping and all the luxury shops and things like that. So we do have that. We get major concerts and events that come here too. Phoenix is the capital of the state, so we see a lot of things coming to Phoenix specifically. Sports teams, we've got professional sports teams as well, football, basketball, hockey, all that good stuff. And museums you had mentioned, we do have that as well. So there's a lot to do. I find that we do have a lot of like outdoor festivals or, you know, farmers markets or stuff like that. Tends to be like a reoccurring thing through the fall. And, you know, when the weather's nice, we see that a lot too. So, I mean, there's always something to do.
Right.
Pre-COVID, I would send out an events list
Right.
every Friday to
Right.
everyone. That has kind of, you know, taken, has
Yeah.
dropped off a little bit, but
What changed?
um, so many things every Friday that I could list for weekend events, live music, all that stuff.
Right.
It's a lot of fun.
Right. And if you, and for the people that live out there in Phoenix too, you can always take a nice drive down to Southern California or take a nice flight back and, you know, have a nice long weekend enjoying the things that you miss.
Hmm.
So that's also always an option. But I know Phoenix is a huge city, so you know, there's probably a lot of traffic. And I know a lot of my California people understand how bad this Los Angeles traffic is, because you can't really guess when the traffic's going to hit. So how's the traffic out there, like the near the Phoenix area, going in and out of the city?
Yeah, it's definitely not what you guys live in. It's not that bad. But we do get traffic for sure, and you have to pay attention to what direction you're going at what time of day. If you're coming from North Phoenix in the morning, you're going to have a lot of traffic going south because many people head into downtown for work. So you hit traffic there, and then on the way home, if you're coming back up north, you'll hit traffic there too. So it's definitely traffic. It'll be stop and go. You'll get things will get congested on the freeway.
Right.
But it's not like a constant. There's always so many people on the
Right.
road. You can definitely pick times like I don't know, maybe 11 a.m. on a Tuesday where you're not going to have to stop and go at all. Whereas it sounds like in LA, you probably are still hitting traffic at 11 a.m. depending on where you're heading.
Yeah, it's for sure insane. Yeah, I definitely see why a lot of people, you know, are moving out of California to, you know, the surrounding areas, specifically Phoenix in general. But you know, California does have a lot of great things happening all the time here. I'm not trying to get anyone to move out of California, but a lot of people always question it. A lot of people are Googling it. Probably how you found this YouTube video if you're currently watching this. But Caitlin, where can they find you at if they have any more questions about the Phoenix and surrounding cities?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel as well. And so it's Caitlin McKeag, your Phoenix real estate agent. And most of my handles are the same with that. So Instagram, it's Caitlin McKeag.Phoenix Realtor. And then Facebook, I have a Phoenix Living page. So, basically with my name and Phoenix Living or Phoenix Realtor, you can find me pretty much anywhere.
Cool. Yeah, and I'll link all her information down below in the description. And like I said in the beginning of this video, you probably clicked on this video because you're thinking about making that move from California to Phoenix. And Caitlin and I both understand how stressful it can be before you even get the process started. Caitlin and I have the luxury of being with the same brokerage, Berkshire Hathaway. So we're able to collaborate and, just make sure that if you're making that move, that we can make this as stress-free as possible, and make sure that, this next part of your life is as enjoyable as it can be, and we can make sure that all the pieces to the puzzle are in the right spots so nothing goes wrong. And then, yep, like I said, Caitlin has a YouTube channel for everything else when it comes to living, playing, and everything else in between in Phoenix and the surrounding areas. So you definitely got to subscribe to her channel, and it's going to be linked down below in the description. Caitlin, I do appreciate you coming on to this video and, telling my California people a little bit what it's like to living in Phoenix.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I wish I could live in California, but I can't afford it. So I understand if people want to come here,
Right.
and happy to share the information. So thanks for having me on.